This might be a distant relative. Meet the ancestors. Am I trampling on some holy burial ground here?
From what I heard of the story is that the workmen, when they came to redo the floor, they took the floor off and found these skulls. As simple as that. They believe they're medieval, but they've not yet been checked out.
I probably shouldn't be touching this, should I? I'm probably destroying centuries-old evidence that somebody's got to uncover.
You'll be all right.
It seems pretty remote, I have to say.
Yeah, it is. Lovely setting, though, isn't it, over the bay?
Well, it's beautiful, but it's the middle of nowhere.
David and Brian have come to Mull's Kilninian Parish Church to look for clues about Donald MacLeod's early life.
1755 over the door.
I saw that. That's just when the place was built, actually. Yeah.
Right. So that was definitely Donald's parents' time then.
Yep.
Oh, it's a wee bit in disrepair.
Yes, I believe it's being refurbished.
So it's not a functioning church
Not at the moment a functioning church.
There's people's heads.
Oh my God, yes.
Are they actual skulls of people? Slightly macabre. This might be a distant relative. Meet the ancestors. Am I trampling on some holy burial ground here?
From what I heard of the story is that the workmen, when they came to redo the floor, they took the floor off and found these skulls. As simple as that. They believe they're medieval, but they've not yet been checked out.
I probably shouldn't be touching this, should I? I'm probably destroying centuries-old evidence that somebody's got to uncover.
You'll be all right, just handling them. Yeah. McClucash, yes. I'm not
David
sure
must check
what
the
that
baptism
means
records
anything in
to find out more about Donald's family.
MacLeod! Charles MacLeod.
Oh, yeah.
And Catherine McNiven.
Right.
Had... What's that?
Innovey is always a place name after so it must be a place called Innovey.
Had son Donald.
That's it, yep. What's the date?
1819.
Okay, and ED means EODO, that's the same day, so there we are.
Oh, I see. August the 1st.
So he was baptised in this church on August the 1st, 1819. It seems that Donald was one of 10 children.
Really?
10. Big family. She had children right on till, I think it was 1830 odds.
Whoa!
So she was well into being 40, well past 40.
So she spent the next 20 years pregnant, basically.
She spent a lot of time being pregnant.
Yeah.
You're right. Yep.
But where on Mull was the family home of Innovey?
Right, David, this map is from 1860.
So where is Innovey?
You know, I don't see it on this map. But now, there's someone I know who will know where Innovey is. She's a local historian.
Okay.
She's bound to know.
Okay.
At least I hope she does.
Yeah, well, otherwise we're a bit stuffed.
We're really going to be stuck.
We've been driving down these wiggly roads for quite a while now. It was a fair way from that little parish church that we've just been in. And that's a bit of a thought, clambering over these brackeny hills with up to 10 children to go and make your peace with God. So I imagine they were fairly hardy people. And poor old Catherine was pregnant from 19 to 40 from what we can see. So it really can't have been much fun clambering up and down here with wains pulling at your skirts and another one in your belly. Hi, Meg. Thank you for coming out to this beautiful bay.
Hi.
Now, I've been told that you might know where the mythical Innovey might have once been.
It is there, but it isn't mythical. It's very solid. We head along the road here.
Local historian Meg Douglas is going to show David where his family lived.
Well, they were obviously fit.
You couldn't be anything else, could you?
No.
Now you know why I said bring TARDIS.
We could have done with it. Well, I think it's time for the wet weather gear, Meg. It's not.
Thank you.
Beginning to get a bit Scottish this way.
Right, well, a bit Scottish, is that it?
Yeah.
OK, we'll go and shelter in the house.
But I mean, there was Charles and Catherine had 10 odd kids, didn't they?
That's right.
So I would hope they had somewhere at least this size.
This is the height the house goes. It doesn't go any higher.
As high as this?
Yes.
And they wouldn't want to be as tall as me, would they?
Living in the village community of Innive, the MacLeods were cotters, Gaelic-speaking subsistence farmers. They paid their landlords rent in kind, with kelp from the beach, peat from the hillside, or wheat when the harvest allowed.
Were they completely self-sufficient, or did they...
They had to be self-sufficient. There was nothing else they could be. Potatoes, main crop.
Which they grew themselves?
Which they grew themselves. And they had oats and barley.
Right.
Well, they used that to make whiskey.
Right.
They had to make something.
Well, they had to have something to cheer them up.
Something to cheer them up in the
I mean,
diner.
for goodness sake.
This was their water supply.
This is what they washed and drank.
They washed and they drank and everything. And if...
I feel I should sample it.
Go on then.
Just for the sake of the
It's
ancestors.
all right, you'll find it lovely and clean.
Well, apart from the bit of bracken. Yeah, it is. It's very clean, actually.
It is very clean, it's lovely.
It's your actual Highland spring.
But they would have a well, they would build a wall around because they'd keep the cattle and the sheep away from the spot where they took
So they
their-
wouldn't drink out of that, necessarily.
Well, it's part of that, it's up the hill.
Right.
But I mean,
Wow.
when you think of cows and children, the pollution,
Yes. Have I just drunk out of a stream that lots of sheep have peed in? Is that what you're telling me?
yes.
Nice. Well, I'm
But you
glad
see,
I did that.
it's fast flowing.
Yeah.
Yeah. And you are above the dead sheep, which is further down.
Oh, that's a relief.
Yes. It's what is known as...
With that in the skull, I'm going to be lucky to escape Mull without some
you're
kind of
get-
deadly disease.
You're getting your antibiotics.
Yeah.
But in the 1830s, the MacLeod's way of life changed forever.
We've just come down through all the lands that the people of Innive farmed, David.
Right.
And this shows us the big house.
So they were farming
they-
to pay this guy here.
He was the one that cleared the whole of this area.
As the Industrial Revolution gathered pace, Highland landlords realised that sheep would be a better use of their land than cotters like the MacLeods. The meat and wool were valuable commodities in the cities and factories of the south. So landlords began a process of clearance, forcing families out of their homes. Some used brutal methods, even burning houses to the ground. In Innive, evictions began in 1814. Families like the MacLeods had their rents raised and were served with eviction notices when they couldn't pay. To make sure they never returned, the roofs of their homes were burned.
I never considered that we had a link back to those times. It's the sort of thing, you know, that the clearances are something you hear about in school. And it feels very far away. It feels like something that happened to people millions of years ago. And of course, it's not that far back.